In this episode, we talk to a creator out of Miami, Florida, who has built a tool to save you at least 5 hours of your day. I can't wait for you to hear this conversation with our dear colleague, Adriana Sol, out in Miami. Before we go, though, subscribe to our podcast, leave us a review, give us a rating. We love to hear from you and how we are actually doing. So, folks, without further ado, let's go and talk with Adriana Sol. Adriana, welcome to my show. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me.
It's so good to have you here. And big shout out to Erica, our mutual colleague, who mentioned that you've got some awesome stuff that we could talk about. And I was excited to hear what it was. But our listeners would certainly like to know who you are and what we do. So why don't we start there?
Sure. So my name's Adriana. I am the ringleader at WanderPR, and I'm also the founder and president of PR Sidekick. So really my world is encompassed by all things PR, right? So at Wander, we do PR for awesome, adventurous brands. And through this work, I really have realized that there is a lot of foundational and grunt work and administrative things that really are not fun, but need to be taken care of. And I just couldn't find the right solution. I would get interns, I would get, low-level people, junior people, account people, and it was expensive. And I thought there had to be a better way. So I found a team and I started training them, and they were doing really great work. All the PR things that we need, the searching, the clipping, the reporting, the pulling the media lists, getting the editorial calendars, all the things that only make sense if you're in the world of PR. And they were so good and they got it so fast that this idea came to me of like, why can't I offer this to my colleagues? Because I know everybody has to do these things and I know how frustrating it is to get this right. And that's how Sidekick was born.
Nice. That's pretty awesome. And how did you get to this point, where you're now a creator of a tool? Let's probably say from a marketing perspective, give us a little bit about your journey from when everything started to now.
It was really created out of necessity, right? Like Wander started because of, a passion for all things adventurous, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that piece of it, but really, Sidekick came out of a need I saw in the market, a need I saw for myself. And, I wish I had a better story for you on the marketing side of it, but really I saw a need for Wander. Once it happened, it was rolling. I hear my colleagues and I hear the challenges we have, the staffing issues, how expensive it is to be able to access a media database that doesn't cost you thousands and thousands of dollars a year. And I really want the industry to be awesome, right? And I think that having somebody knowing, really a team that has your back with all things grunt work, I think is a really good way to get to having an awesome industry and having people really focus on the stuff that they love, right? Nothing drains the energy of an outgoing, awesome PR person like having to pull monthly reports, right? It's draining for those of us that are not built that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
For those of us who don't love spreadsheets.
Yeah.
So that's how it happened, right? So I built this tool and I started rolling it out initially to the people I know. I was the head of the PRSA Professional Development Committee here in Miami. This was years ago, but I've had the honor and the luck to be surrounded by really great PR people here and in New York as well. We've done a lot of work up there. So I started rolling out to them first and saying, okay, try this out. I started getting the beta users and the feedback and that. And out of that, just like how Erica let you, it started to grow that way. I have used PRSA, right? Like the industry association for PR people to let them know. And every time I'd go to PRSA, I get sales because it's a need, right? And then the way I started getting it more is I actually use LinkedIn. LinkedIn was has been a great tool for me in this way to get in front of other PR professionals. So
Awesome.
yeah, actually, I'm going to tell
Awesome.
you a tool on LinkedIn that I have really liked. You ready for it?
Awesome.
It's called Cleverly. So Cleverly is it is like a sales, a lead generation software that helps you on LinkedIn. So you need to have Sales Navigator, but after that, it's amazing. They help build the connections, they build out all the messaging, all the touch points. You have a dashboard where you can go in and talk to people. I have loved it, and I've actually gotten several of my clients at Wander on Cleverly as well.
Oh, pretty cool. That's
Yeah,
something that we should definitely take a look at. So your
yeah,
tool is Sidekick, right?
yes.
Your tool is Sidekick, and so give us again what exactly Sidekick does for someone who is listening and not savvy enough to really
Yeah.
understand what it is. So tell us a little about that.
So Sidekick is made for people who are in PR, who either are freelancers or owners of small agencies that A, don't want to deal with interns and people pulling lists, B, don't necessarily want to pay the thousands of dollars that it costs to have these subscriptions if you don't need them, right? Like, a lot of the media database subscriptions start at $5,000 a year up to, $12,000. And there's some people that just need 3 or 4 lists a year. It's an exorbitant amount of money for people that don't have big agencies, right? Or that are very narrow in their focus. So Sidekick is for PR people. And it's also another area that we have found has really taken to Sidekick are nonprofits that have a marketing person in-house, and one of those marketing people who is like the catch-all for all things marketing in the company, right? So we've been, I have found there's actually a big draw for those people for Sidekick because maybe they don't have the budget to have an agency. So they just have somebody that can help them get their lists done, get their events into the calendars, get reports done for people. We also have deals with certain media, which means that you get guaranteed media coverage, which is great when you're in a bind or you just need to get the word out, effectively. So those are the people that we work with. But again, I'm always very clear, right? We do not, if you're looking for a PR agency, Sidekick is not it's not a substitute, right? We
Yeah.
don't write press releases. We don't pitch the media. We don't coordinate events, work with influencers. We don't do any of the things that our clients do. I don't ever want them to feel like we're competing with our clients,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's really a do-it-yourself sort of PR tool that you can use if you're a startup or an entrepreneur who can't afford the PR agency. You can use Sidekick to really help you to get some things done. But
Have the
obviously, if you
tools
want,
you need.
right, yeah, to get the
Exactly.
tools you need. Awesome.
Exactly.
That's
So
great. That's great.
yeah. So that's really, that's really it. My dream for Sidekick eventually is to have a community of really great PR people that can then, have work be given back and forth between these people, right? Because at Wander, for example, I give work to other PR people all the time, and I get clients from other PR people. It's not this, it really is like there's enough for everyone, right?
Yeah.
So I really want to build this community at Sidekick of people that have support, that have resources, a place for conversation, and obviously a place for great support for the work that they're doing. Right?
Nice, nice. And that answers a question that I was going to ask about who it is for, because it's clearly for those folks we just talked about. My
Yeah.
other question though was sort of how is it different though from alternatives outside of just hiring a PR person? I mean, what's the other differences that Sidekick provides for small operators who may not be on that PR agency budget?
Yeah. So it's much more affordable than hiring a PR agency, right? It is, and again, it's like it's not instead of. So let's say you just want a report pulled, right? The reports start if you give a single report at $87, and the more that you get, the less expensive it becomes, right? But your buy-in is under $100 to get, to get the support that you need, rather than paying, $1,800 a year to be able to get these things, right? You can get away with, paying $400 to Sidekick for the whole year of things that you need, right? So one of them is access. I price this to be a volume business for me, not like how Wander and how most agencies are, that are retainer business, right? That it's not a volume business. It's so I think that accessibility from the price point is it's great. It's like, I know what it's like to have a really tight budget, and to say, oh, I have to pay these guys like $4,000 right now, when really all I need is this one list,
Yeah.
So
This podcast is sponsored by MeisterTask, the most intuitive task manager on the web. MeisterTask is an easy-to-use project management tool. Makes it easy and fun and colorful to get all your projects managed in one place. As an entrepreneur, I use MeisterTask to help me manage all of my projects. I can drag and drop different tasks. I can assign key people to the task. I can set deadlines and schedules and enjoy just the beautiful colors while I do that. So if you are interested in trying MeisterTask, go to meistertask.com/DMT tools. That's meistertask.com/DMT tools. And you can sign up for a free trial when you upgrade to the Pro plan. So get started for free today, and invite your team members and get productive together.
So it's like you can get, 5 lists for $250.
Nice. And then you touched on, and that's awesome. And you touched on something earlier about sort of some of the things that you can actually do, like get reports. Talk to us a little about some of the practical things you could do. So I've got this tool. Walk me through some of the things that most of your users do with it.
So our most popular options are media lists, right? So you have a press release that you've written and you want to get it out to restaurant writers in New York. We will pull a list of all those people for you that you have, and then you have access to, so you can get the release out to them. So the media lists are really popular. The reports are really popular too. You have sent out a press release, you've gotten all these great hits. Now, how do I show it, package it back to the client, right? So I think that in PR, at least historically, we have been very blasé about showing off the work that we're doing to our clients. We're saying, oh, here's the list, here's a report. But if you think about it, PR by nature is intangible. So the more that you can show off and show the value of what you're bringing to the clients, the better. So we create really kick-ass reports for our clients that show them how many people have seen it, the coverage, it's interactive, it has your logo, so all the things to get your client excited about the work that you're doing for them, right?
Awesome.
So the reports are really, and another one that now, this went, as you can imagine, during the pandemic, it was dead, but now it's starting to come back. It's the event listings. So we have packages designed for people that do events called the Amplifier package. It gives you a media list of the people in the media that should know about your event. You give us the event description and we put it into all of the local media calendars. So it starts showing up, in, I don't have the Atlanta people off my, but in Miami, it goes into the Herald, into the NPR station, into Miami.com, into all of the places where your event will get noticed, right? So we do that. That alone saves 5 hours off of somebody doing this. Event listings are very tedious, right? And then we look for the hits afterwards and we create the report for you. So that package is just over $300 and it is incredibly popular. So, so I would say those 3 options are the most popular things right now. We also offer, we also have deals with certain media that we love and trust that that you can buy editorial in. So I guess it's not editorial, it's more advertorial, but it comes out as editorial, which for a PR, I think every PR person I know has had one of those months that you're like, nothing's sticking. I just need a great story to come out to make my client happy. We have those queued up and the clients love them. Right. So I would say that's the other big value that we can bring to the team.
That's awesome. I mean, that's
Yeah.
amazing, right? I think I could definitely see how, businesses can save like hours just trying to do all these things themselves. And like you alluded to earlier, it's not instead of, but it's really a complement to what you do with your PR folks. Can this be integrated though with anything else? Like, can we work in tandem with other tools? We often kind of want to know that.
I have not figured that out yet. So far, no, right?
Okay.
Eventually, right now, it's really service driven. It's because like you're at the user end, it is automated. You go into a form, you get thing, it is automated. You have a folder where all your thing where you can access all of your things. But it is service driven. There are people, it's not automated on the back end.
Yeah.
I haven't figured out how to do that yet, right? Maybe, who knows what the future holds, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's something that we'll definitely chat with you about, because that's pretty neat how you already start working through those functions, and you can add more to it.
Yeah.
So as it is now though, if for our listeners who are interested in like, ooh, this tool sounds like it really is an awesome tool, what should they do to be able to use this tool? Is it already on a URL that you can go to?
Yep.
Is it free?
So all they have to do is go to prsidekick.com. There is a way to try us out for free, but then after that you do have to pay. But like I mentioned, the point of entry is low, right?
Yeah.
So again, it's like I really wanted to price this so everybody that needs it could use it. And so far, I think that we've achieved that,
Nice. It's nice. So it's a freemium, you get in, you can try it. But then, I mean, you'll be paying for it. What you'll pay though is way, way less than what you would be paying.
Fraction.
Awesome.
It's a fraction. Awesome. And you have somebody doing the work, right? Because you subscribe to these things, you still have to do the work. Here you have somebody else doing the work for you. Yeah. Right. Which is nice. And somebody who is trained by PR people, right? Because my team at Wander is also constantly refining the work being done based on what we're seeing from our agency needs, right? So Sidekick is not living in this vortex, right? It's like it really is being developed and trained and bettered by the needs that we're seeing at our own agency, which we can only imagine are being mirrored at agencies and by other freelancers everywhere.
Awesome. Yeah. I really love this tool. It's PRsidekick.com.
Yep.
And you will be able to go there and then you can start your process of trying it out. If you ever really wanted to get into this PR space and do some things for your own business, this is an opportunity for you to lean into this tool. And we'd love to hear what you guys think about it. So Erica, I'm sorry, Adriana, I call you Erica because we have a common friend, Erica. Right?
Listen, but Adriana, I'm okay with you calling me Erica. She's great.
She's good people. Staying in business, I know for years is not easy. And listeners oftentimes want to know, how have you done it? And what would you say has been the best thing that has happened to you since?
So, this is really much more of a Wander question because Sidekick is relatively new. It was really born of it, like during the pandemic with Sidekick. But so, yeah, it is certainly, having your own business is not for the faint of heart, but I think, so there's a couple things. I think looking for support. There's a few things that I would say. I was like looking for support in terms of mentoring, coaching, investing in that kind of training is really key, because a lot of us, for those of us that have read the E-Myth, it's like a lot of us start a business because you're good at PR or you're good at plumbing or whatever it is that you're doing. But being good at PR doesn't make you a good business owner, right? So having somebody that can really take you out of the insides of your business to help you look at it from a bigger level and make decisions on your business rather than being inside your business, I think is really important. So I would say, be careful, because there's a lot of coaches out there that are not great. But if you find a good one, do research, and you have someone that has your back and that you can talk to about payroll issues, staffing issues, because really it's like you feel like you're in it alone, right? Like you're in this. And if you have a partner, because I did have a partner for 10 years before, it's also really nice to have somebody that can be the intermediary with you and your partner to give you some perspective. So
Absolutely.
I would say, invest in some sort of coach or that. I would say hire help before you think you can afford it. I think the sooner that you can begin to decentralize yourself and really just focus on the things that you're good at, while letting other people do the things that you don't like to do, but that are essential. I think that that's really important also. I think making sure that you take vacations, right? I think that's take vacations where you can disconnect.
Mhm.
I say have an assistant. An assistant really does make your life a lot easier. And there's great options on people who are really, I'm using a company right now called Time Etc. that I've been very happy with. Their assistants are here in the US. And set your boundaries, right? Don't allow your clients to have access to you 24 hours a day, right? It's a very quick way to burn out and make your life miserable. So I think your business is there to support the life that you want, not your life to support the business that you have, right?
Awesome.
So, yeah.
That's beautiful, and thanks for sharing that. I think that's a really really powerful message for listeners.
Yeah.
Is there anything that I didn't ask you that you'd love to share with us?
Um, no, I don't think so. I mean, I think that the why behind Sidekick, right, is to help people focus on the things that they really that drive them, that they're passionate about, and as a PR person myself, I am outgoing, and I love, ideas and creativity, and things like reports and lists and all of that drain my energy to a point that I can't even tell you. Right. So I think whether it's Sidekick or whether it's, all the other tools that you support, bring the things in that you need to be able to focus on what you love. Right. I mean, I think that is where the magic happens,
Awesome.
so
Awesome.
yeah.
That's beautiful. And
Yeah.
we like to ask questions around, books and podcasts. And I want to know, what kind of books are you reading or have read, one or two that would be really helpful, or you think could be really helpful for listeners, and podcasts. What apart from this podcast, what
Yeah.
other podcasts are you listening to?
So I really like true crime podcasts. So I don't do like the business, I love Crime Junkies, and I love Up and Vanished are two ones on that side that I really enjoy. And books, I'm an avid reader. So one of the books, I actually have it here. Um, One of the books that I really love is Traction.
Mhm.
This book is amazing, and it is talking about really how to get a grip, on your business and create a business that really functions in a way without you. I actually have at Wander, I have hired a company that's helping us implement the entrepreneurial operating system within the company. But if I was a different kind of person, like this book is enough for you with all the resources they have online. It just helps you think about your business in a different way. And it's so simple. Doesn't mean it's easy, right? But it is simple and awesome. I've been in business a long time, and this is exactly what I needed. And I wish I would have read it 10 years ago.
Awesome. Awesome. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Was
Yeah.
there another one that you wanted to tell
Another
us
book that
about?
so from a business side, there's one called Get Everything You Want Out of Everything You Need. It's something like that. And it's amazing. That's another one. I need to like go back and look at the name, but that one is awesome. The E-Myth is great for any entrepreneur, because again, it's like the myth is that just because you start a business, you're automatically entrepreneurial, which those of us who are in business know that that is not true. And it talks about the importance of systemizing, which which really changes. It's a game changer once you have systems in place, but the latest one I'm obsessed with is traction.
That's amazing. Thank you. And those are great. Those are really great books as well. And so we're always looking for creators and master users of tools, Adriana, that just really help them to grow their business, and they can pay it forward and help other businesses to grow. Any recommendations of who should we be talking to next on the show?
So yeah, I'm going to go back to this book. So the company that I have hired to help me implement the entrepreneur. So it is a tool. It's not quite like an online tool. The company is called The Profit Recipe. And Caesar is the founder here. He's a great entrepreneur. And then, our integrator is named Gerardo, but they are, they didn't invent the entrepreneurial operating system, but they are helping companies implement it and really changing the game. So I think that a conversation with either one of them would be really powerful for you.
Absolutely. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
That sounds fantastic. And you know them, so certainly we'll
I do know them.
Rely on you for an introduction so we can get them on the show
to do it.
to talk to. But this has been really great, Adriana. Thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with us. It's not going to be the last time, because we definitely want to follow up with PR Sidekick and see what's happening there in a couple of months. But it's just really great having you on our show today.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's been fun.
All right, you got it. We'll talk soon. That was Adriana talking about Sidekick PR. Don't forget to check the tool out and see how this tool can actually help you to further your growth. Before we go, subscribe to our podcast. Leave us a rating. Did this show help? Was it helpful? We'd love to know how we're doing. And until next time, though, folks, don't forget to choose a tool to help you rule your growth. Talk soon.